Okay, hi, this is the 2010 Darth Vader on the Repro Empire Strikes Back card, and it's the same as the Saga Legends figure. So they say it's got different paint apps. The figure's really good. Removable helmet, the helmet's in two pieces as well, and it's got nice silver apps to the chest armor, and it's probably one of the best Darth Vaders, if not the best Darth Vader figure ever. And you've got the Empire Strikes Back card. That image is the classic image. So on YouTube I've just uploaded a Return of the Jedi 1983 carded Darth Vader with the second picture. So this is the original picture. So you get this picture on the Star Wars Empire Strikes Back and some of the Return of the Jedi cards, plus the Power of the Force cards. And there's the figure. Let's see if I can get a better picture of it. There you are. So there. Nice cloth accessories, lightsaber, and so paid £6 for this. Not bad. Very good. And there you've got the back of the card. Shows the original 1982-80 version with the original figure, and then the other figures. So this is only the third of these cards I've got. I've got the Sand Trooper plus the droid. What droid is it? It's one of Darth. What's his name? Grievous's guards. Magna Droid, that's it, the Magna Droid. Both of those have got the silver foil. So that's your Darth Vader. Okay, next thing I want to show you is, in this sort of mega haul I guess, because is the IG Lancer Droid. You can see it's really detailed. It's more or less an IG, similar to IG-88, but it's got points on its shoulder, so it looks a bit more broader. Has a darker paint application to its body. Comes with the same weapons as the IG-88 plus the lance as well. You saw this in the Clone Wars, the original Clone Wars, not the current series, but the original cartoon series. And you can see it's really detailed. It's a Builder Droid 2008, I guess, Legacy Collection. And these are the figures that came in that series. And you've got the droid part there, so it's for the Builder Droid for R4J1, and there you are, the IG Lancer Droid. Let's see if I can get a better look at it. There you are. So there's the Stormtrooper Blaster laser rifle there, we can see it's really bent, and the Lance, and IG-80 Lancer Droid. Okay, next thing I want to show you is this Nikto Guard. So this is from 1983-84. It's Canadian AFA, and I've been collecting a lot of Canadian vintage of late, so this is a really nice card. The bubble's slightly yellowed. Figure looks pretty cool. Let's see if I can get a better picture. Yep. And it's Return of the Jedi. Has the Emperor offer in the bottom corner. Only 4 figures come on this card, so it's a Nikto, 8D8, and 2 others. If you want to find out more information, go to womprat.com, and that's like really has all the info on Canadian Star Wars vintage cards. They tell you how rare they are and all that sort of stuff. I think this is the level 1, level 2, which means it's pretty, comes up pretty often. And you've got the information there. You've got the two languages, English and French there. All the figures, the 65 figures there. So Nikto's not actually shown on the back of this. So that's something unique to this card. You've got the Emperor offer there, and you've got the offer in English at the top and French at the bottom, and you've got the pop there, and and a white square at the bottom. So really nice card. It's AFA graded, and the grades are 85. Card gets 80, bubble 85, figure 85. Let's see if I can get a better look. There's the figure. There's your Nikto, and very nice on a Kenner Canadian card. So I've got this on the US card as well, and plus on Tri-Logo. So they're on YouTube already, so you can check them out. So that's your Canadian Nikto card. Okay, this is a quick haul, so I'll do better reviews later in the year, because it's the summer holidays now, so people might be going away and stuff like that. So there's your Canadian Nikto, very nice, very nice. Okay, this is the Klaatu. These are a very easy to find figure. This one's slightly unusual that it's a Canadian card, but even in terms of Canadian cards, this is still a very common Canadian card. So it's Klaatu on a Return of the Jedi card, ungraded, and you've got at the top there you've got the languages in English and French. You've got the name Klaatu there. So this figure's just been redone as Woof, and you can get that now. So this is the original Klaatu figure. It's quite a famous figure. The variations are with the limbs. So on this one they look pretty grey, but on some you get a tan limb. So the two arms and the two legs, they can either be grey or tan, and depending on the combination you might have one grey leg and 3 tan limbs, or vice versa. That can really affect the price of that figure. So this is Klaatu. He comes with a sort of skiff guard weapon. 2 versions of Klaatu were released in the vintage line. This is the first version, and they released him in a skiff guard outfit as well. So there's Klaatu, now known as Woof to you younger collectors out there. And this is the back. So this is a 65 back. It's got the pop at the top, which is unusual because on American cards they have the pop at the bottom. So there's the Canadian pop in the top corner there, and then it says Collect All 65 figures, and it says it in French as well. I'm not going to say it in French because my French is so bad. You've got the famous blacking out of the 2 Ewoks, that's Chief Chirper and Logray, because George Lucas didn't want to spoil the surprise of the Ewoks being in Return of the Jedi. And then you've got at the bottom the actual offer for Neon Numb there. So you've got him there, and at the top you've got it in English, and then at the bottom you've got it in French. The expiry date for this offer was the 31st of January 1984, so I'd have still been 13 then, almost 14. So there you are, there's the Canadian Klaatu, or as you youngsters will call him, Woof. Oops, I dropped the bleeding card. So there you are, Woof. Return of the Jedi Klaatu. And very nice item it is. These come up quite often in the UK, so it's not hard to find. I think it's on the oneputwap.com. This is a level 1 figure, so it's easy to find. It bubbles pretty yellowed, but most Klaatu figures these days on the vintage cards do have yellow bubbles, unless you get a Palitoy or a Tri-Logo one. So there you are. That's your Klaatu. Okay, this is Lando Calrissian from the original trilogy collection. So he's a modern figure on a repro style Empire Strikes Back card. Comes in a clamshell. These came out in 2004, I think, and the figure is one of the best Lando Calrissians, probably the best Lando Calrissian. He's in his classic Empire Strikes Back costume with arms with an Imperial Blaster, and he comes in a really nice cape as well. And you've got the original card picture from the vintage line, plus the Empire Strikes Back logo, so he was first released on that card. And these were quite expensive, so they usually go for over £10 each. I've got this for less, but still, you know. So, and on the back it's got, these are quite like the new cards now. So this is the original trilogy collection, and then this is the vintage collection. So you can see how similar they are. So that's the Darth Vader figure. Doesn't come in a star case, and that's the original trilogy collection figure. So it says the same thing, celebrate the legendary blah blah blah. And you've got there the original figure, which wasn't a great sculpt, but is a classic figure on his Empire Strikes Back card. There's two major variations with Lando Calrissian, to do with paint apps to the teeth, whether he has white teeth or not. And then you've got the four figures that are originally available. You've got the Darth Vader there on the Empire Strikes Back card. You've got the Lando Calrissian, which is this one, the Yoda, and the C-3PO. So most of these have been redone in the 2010-2011 lot, and then you've got the Darth Vader here, which is the 2010 version. I've got quite a few of the 2004, 2005 version Darth Vaders, but the Woolworths version, which is the UK version. So there you go. So Lando Calrissian comes in a really nice star case. It's a shame the new figures don't come in this star case. And there you go. Let's see if we can get a better look at Lando Calrissian. He's got Imperial Blaster. Looks pretty well articulated. Looks like he's got slide elbows, which are bugbear for most collectors. Ball jointed shoulders, must have swivel wrist, ball jointed head, knees, upper legs. I don't know about the feet, but my feet must be, I'm sure they are. So there you are, Lando Calrissian in his Bespin outfit on a really nice Empire Strikes Back reproduction, and that's your original trilogy collection from 2004. So there you go. Okay, next two are from the original trilogy, well, the Leia Bespin here is from the original trilogy collection, and then I think this came slightly later. So you've got Sly Moore here. She was in episode 2, 3, I guess, and then you've got and she was like hanged around with the Emperor or Senator Palpatine, and then you've got Leia in her classic Bespin outfit. So you've got these two cards. She's got the Rebel logo in the top corner there. So let's have a quick look at Sly Moore first. So it's quite a nice sort of retro styled card with a background picture behind the figure. And you've got Coruscant Senate there. The figure's really good, it's got a lot of detail to it. Bald headed, holding a pistol that we never saw her hold in the film. Blue dress with a sort of lighter blue, looks like it's rubber. Yeah, it's paint brushed rubber. Outer dress all. And let's see if we can get a good shot of the face without it going out of focus. There you are, Sly Moore. She's got a sort of bluish makeup around the eyes. And there you are. I doubt if this figure has much in the terms of articulation. So there you go. And let's look at the back. Sly Moore. Sly Moore is the star fade for the Supreme Chancellor Palpatine, is never far from his side. She has a piercing gaze and can only see in the ultraviolet spectrum. Her species, the Umbarans, are rumoured to be able to influence and even control the minds of others. It is believed that she is very close to Palpatine and knows his deepest secrets. And on the back of the card you can actually see the figure there, plus the photograph of her there, and then the other figures that were available at the time, and the ad in the corner to Hasbro.com. It's got 2004 on the back of the card, so it's pretty getting on a bit. Slymore, number 3 in this range. Nice figure. And then we'll look at Leia Bespin, or Princess Leia, they just call it there. In her Bespin gown, a lot more improved over the vintage figure. There's sort of colour applications to the outer dress. She's holding an Imperial blaster. The likeness is really pretty spot on, and it is a nice figure. The background is from the Bespin scene, so it's a good figure. Original Trilogy collection, and there you go, holding a sort of bronze coloured Imperial blaster, and it says includes base, does that say base, and blaster. OTC 18 this is. Okay, on the back you've got a picture of Princess Leia in her Bespin gown, plus the actual figure there, and other figures. I've got those two. I've got Lobot and Cloud Car Pilot. Okay, and I think I might have Obi-Wan Kenobi. Okay, the Rebel heroes, Princess Leia, Han Solo and Chewbacca, I think they are safe in the company of Han's old friend, Lando Calrissian. This guy here, who is now Baron Administrator of Cloud City. They have no reason to expect trouble as they enter the dining room, but they discover that they have been betrayed to the Imperial forces when they come face to face with the evil Darth Vader. So that's Leia in her Bespin gear outfit, and it's quite a good figure. OTC, so you've got her there, and you've got Slymore here, both female characters. And now it's time to say a Bond farewell, bid a Bond farewell, is it bid, well whatever. Anyway, time to say goodbye to these two girls and on to two other. Okay, this is the Darth Vader vintage die-cast TIE Fighter, so it came out around 78, 79. So you know, I've posted a few videos on the Imperial TIE Fighter, so I've got 4 versions of that, and recently I acquired a loose TIE Bomber, and I did, earlier than this, got the Darth Vader's TIE Fighter loose, so there's a video about that as well. Okay, so this is pretty old now. The card's not in the best condition. It's pretty worn around the hang tag. There's a crease there, crease there, crease there, crease there. But it's getting on in its years, so it's over 30 years old, this card. And you can see in the top corner it has the Darth Vader helmet there, which is quite unusual, plus the Luke and Leia holding the lightsaber, and then you've got Darth Vader's TIE Fighter, nice pink background. Everyone knows, well, maybe you youngsters don't know, but the Darth Vader TIE Fighter, there's a variation with a short-winged TIE Fighter, and that's worth a fortune. So if you ever come across one of these with really short wings, that's worth a fortune. And this looks just like the regular version. Obviously they just use the Imperial TIE Fighter body, so it's not like the proper Darth Vader's TIE Fighter there, which would extend around the crescent shape there. So there you are, Darth Vader's TIE Fighter. Looks really nice. The bubble's pretty clear, very clear actually. And you've got a scene of Darth Vader's TIE Fighter, an X-Wing, airbrushing there, plus the Death Star. And on the back, it's a 21 back card, so you've got all 21 figures, plus the later release die-cast vehicles. You've got the Y-Wing, the Star Destroyer or Imperial Cruiser, and the Millennium Falcon. These are just mock-ups there. And then you've got 3 4 that were already available: the Land Speeder, the X-Wing, the Darth Vader's TIE, and the TIE Fighter, plus the 2 weapons you could buy: the 3-position laser rifle plus the Han Solo blaster. And then you've got all the figures. You've got, including Boba Fett, so we're seeing 1978 on the back of this card, right at the bottom. This is a US card. You can get this on Canadian card, British card, Palatoy. So, but this is my first Darth Vader's TIE Fighter. So I've been concentrating on the Imperial TIE Fighters, the regular white version, rather than this version. So there you go. Nice, looks nice. There you go, Darth Vader's TIE Fighter. A cool looking ship. Okay, this is excuse me. This is Princess Leia Organa on the 12-back Star Wars Kenner card US. So it's really probably the definitive edition of Princess Leia. I mean, the only versions better would be a Palatoy or a Meccano or a Clipper, but they're even more scarce, or Canadian. So even on a US Kenner card, this is really hard to track down and get at a reasonable price. So it has a white price square at the top, the name of the character, Princess Leia Organa, classic image there, the figure, classic figure now. You can get these in 12-inch format now, or soon. This is a classic figure. I never had this one as a kid. I know my sister did. I think I flushed it down the toilet, so just despite her, the sort of brother I was. I think I flushed all her Star Wars figures. I knew she had the vinyl cake jar as well, and I know I'd flushed that down the toilet. Anyway, so here you are. These are the Princess Leia on a 12-back card. You've got the classic Leia and Luke holding the lightsaber. Only on these Star Wars cards do you have a few stars in the upper portion as well. Classic image. They didn't change the image on Return of the Jedi cards. They used the same image, and I've got on video on YouTube 2 Return of the Jedi Princess Leias. For a long time, the Return of the Jedi Princess Leia was worth more than the 12-back. It's only past, say, 3, 4, 5 years that this one's become more valuable, just because it's the 12-back version. So this is the Princess Leia on a 12-back card. It's been graded, but not by AFA, by the UK graders, and the UK graders say it's a Star Wars Princess Leia 1977 Kenner 12-back. It gives it a rarity factor of 2 stars and gives the card 80, bubble 85, and the figure 85, and overall the piece gets 85. Doesn't tell you exactly what type of 12-back it is, like whether it's a 12-back A, 12-back B, 12-back C. I've got the John Kellerman book. I could look it up, and when I've got more time I will. And you can see on the back it's got the list of 12 figures, the classic image of the 12 figures, paintings of the TIE Fighter, the X-Wing, and the Land Speeder, telling you how to pull out the telescoping lightsabers, which were quickly replaced with just the pull-down lightsabers. There's an offer at the bottom there for a display stand, or a collector's action stand, and that expired May the 1st, 1979. There's the pop there, and you had to send in proof of purchases. So these little things here you had to send in. Everyone knows in England we had to send in the name tags of the characters. So there you go. This is your 12-back, and it says, let's see what it says about Princess Leia. It says, Princess Leia Organa, 3.5 inches, has a removable cape and laser pistol. The laser pistol has come loose and is at the bottom. The figure looks pretty good. Bubbles very clear, which is nice. Little tinge of pink to the arms and legs compared to the body, but that happens over time. Still classic image, Princess Leia, and there you are. Let's continue on with our massive Star Wars haul before the holiday. Okay, this is Luke X-Wing. This is pretty rare. This is on a Canadian card. It's an Empire Strikes Back card which has had a Return of the Jedi logo there, sticker, sorry, stuck over it. Still got the price sticker, original vintage price sticker, and they've added another sticker there which is for Return of the Jedi figure offer. And there's the Luke in his X-Wing gear. So this is a Canadian 41 back B card with the added Canadian transition stickers. So these in Canada are known as transition cards, and you have the Canada decided not to, because Return of the Jedi was about to come, so they decided to just take all the current Empire Strikes Back cards and just put stickers over them, all the surplus they had, and sell them so that they could trademark or advertise the new Return of the Jedi film. And there's the offer for Admiral Akbar there, and it's got the offer in English and in French, and this time I'm going to read it. Special offer: get an Admiral Akbar figure from the new Star Wars movie Return of the Jedi with 6 proofs for purchase. Just purchase 6 Star Wars action figures, send in the 6 proof of purchases, seals with your name and address to the address below. Return of the Jedi offer, PO Box 335, Station C, Toronto, Ontario, M6J3N1. Offer expires August the 1st, 1983. Allow 10 days, 10 to 12 weeks for processing. Okay, and there's the seal, which is part of the sticker overlay. And as you can see, this upper part of the card is your bog standard Canadian Empire Strikes Back 41 back card, and it says there at the top in French, Empire Strikes Back. I did say I wasn't going to read French today. And then it says in French at the top, then in English, Star Wars action figures, collect all 41. And there you can see Luke X-Wing there. So this is a really kind of rare item, really nice, very expensive. And I had to pay import duty on this, and that was exorbitant as well. Her Majesty's Customs, it's outrageous that they charge so much money. This is not available in the UK, and yet Her Majesty's Customs, the scum, think they can rip us off. But you have to pay. Well, from now on, try not to buy from the States anymore, because this country is such a rip-off. That's the UK. They just tax us to death, you know. This country's just... A lot of you viewers are American, but this country, we need the X-Wings to come and blow up the Houses of Parliament. Anyway, so just because of the customs charges, it's ridiculous. Huge amount I had to pay on this just to import it into this country. But the item's really nice. The dealer who sold this to me said that he had offers that if I backed out, he'd had offers for paying twice as much. Whether that's true or not, who knows. So anyway, and we won't. So it's a really rare item. So you got, and according to him, the guy who sold this to me, he says there's only, according to AFA, Action Figure Archive Authority, sorry, this is the only known example. So that shows you how rare this is. So I'm sure in Canada someone else has one of these, or in the States. They just need to send it to get graded. The transition cards, all of them are pretty rare. The most common is C-3PO. But you know, why I'm a bit low on money at the moment. It's because of this. It costs so much. But it's, I guess it's a once in a lifetime opportunity to grab this. I was talking to someone yesterday. He's a big Star Wars dealer, a UK dealer, and he was saying that at the moment on eBay lots of really good stuff's coming up. So, you know, like stuff he's never seen before. There's even a couple of amazing prototypes at the moment on eBay. They're really expensive. They're like, it's a Rebel Commando prototype figure on a Landau Calrissian Empire Strikes Back card. That is I remember seeing that in a magazine, Lee's Action Figure News, years ago, and that's now actually available to buy if you've got mega bucks. So this is not as rare as that, but still mega rare. And if you're into Canadian stuff, then you know, this really nice item. I haven't even taken it out of its AFA bag yet. I will one day, but not yet. And you know, nice, just look at that. As soon as I got it last Monday, finally, it took about a month to come from the States to here. I mean, it's held up in customs for a really long time, you know, until I had enough money to pay the bleeding custom charge. This country's a disgrace. This government's a disgrace. We should overthrow it. We should be like this Luke Exon. We should be rebels, overthrowing the government, changing this society for the better. You know, we'll just end up in anarchy, you know. Anyway, that's my rant. It's just, you know, but this is a really nice item. It looks amazing. Bubble looks pretty clear. They say it's yellow. I mean, look at the grades. It says 1980 Canada Star Wars Empire Strikes Back 41 Back B Luke Exon Pilot Return of the Jedi Transition sticker. And it says card is 80, bubble 85, figure is 80, yellow, near mint, and it's an archival case. That's because this thing is mega rare. So there you are. So let's see. Return of the Jedi figure offer. Luke Skywalker X-Wing pilot. Anyway, time to move on. I'll do a better video of this when after the summer holidays. Alright, cheers. Okay, more Canadian. I already put a video up about this. This is the Emperor's Royal Guard on Canadian 77 back. Okay, the bubble's pretty yellow, but the card's really nice. Typical Canadian Return of the Jedi. About the same price as a Kenner card, US card, or Palatine might be even more expensive. 85 grade. So the card, the whole thing's 85. Everything's 85. Card, bubble, and figure are 85. Yellow near mint. Return of the Jedi, Emperor's Royal Guard. Excellent figure. 1983. This was a class figure. I actually got the one I had when I went to see Return of the Jedi in the UK on its first day of release. So actually was selling them in the cinema. So there you are. That's the Emperor's Royal Guard. Looks really good figure. Nice cloth cape. Comes with a staff. You can just make it out there. And it's a great likeness. Far better than the Power of the Force version, Power of the Force 2 version that came out in the 90s. Okay, so typical Canadian back, 77 back. No offer on this card. It's just the 77 back with the languages in English and French, and then what's available, the Max Rebo set and all that sort of stuff, plus the pops in the lower corner. So there you are. Another nice Canadian card. So you've seen on this review 4 or whatever update, haul update, whatever. You've got 4 Canadian cards. You've got this, which is fairly rare. If you go to rompratt.com, you'll see how rare it is. Level 2, I think. The Luke on the X-Wing transition card, which is mega rare. The Nikto, which is I think level 2, level 1, which is on a 65 back. Or was that? Yeah, that's a 65 back card with the Emperor offer, and the Klaatu, which is on a more with a what offer was the Klaatu one? Well, you saw that one as well anyhow. So you've seen 4 Canadian vintage cards. 5 years ago I had no Canadian cards, so you know they're only starting to crop up in the UK now and again. So, and I think it's a nice area to focus on, a bit more unique than the US versions and just as good as the Palitoy versions. So there you are, the Emperor's Royal Guard on Canadian card. Unpunched 85 all round, yellow near mint with a 77 back, and there's already a video about this on YouTube by me. So there you go, nice card. Okay, so this is the Vader I was telling you about. This is the Return of the Jedi 65 back B Darth Vader, 1983. It's got the second picture on it, which this picture looks amazing. So it's got pinkish purplish tint to it, looks really good though. And there's the figure, Darth Vader on a Return of the Jedi 1983 card. So what Kenner did back in the day was to some of the older figures that have been around since the Star Wars time, they decided to update the pictures. So they did that for the Vader, the Han Solo, the Luke Skywalker. They didn't do it for Princess Leia, they did it also for Chewbacca. And who else? Let me think. I should know these. I've talked about it anyhow on one of my Han Solo reviews, because I've got the Han Solo with the updated picture as well. So they just did it to refresh the line, and this picture looks amazing. It's the same figure though. And on the back you've got a 65 back US Kenner card with the pop at the bottom. And what's interesting about this is, I don't know if you can just about focus on that, and you see it says made in Mexico. I don't know if it was carded in Mexico. The card doesn't look like the stock might be the Mexican type. It might have been carded in America or Mexico, who knows. The figure was definitely made in Mexico. And if you go on sites just Google Lily Ledy Darth Vader, and this will tell you how to recognize the Darth Vader figure, the Mexican version, from the more common Hong Kong version. So with this version, you've got, if you notice the stomach panel there, the chest panel, the paint works a lot less than on the regular version. The buttons are slightly smaller, so that's one way of telling that's a Mexican Ledy figure. The other thing is the helmet. In side profile it's more pronounced, and that's another way of recognizing the Mexican Darth Vader. And the final way of telling is, if you look at the lightsaber, it's really thick and bright. So the Mexican Lily Ledy figures have a thick blade. So those are the 3 things you've got to look for. You've got to look for the chest plate, the sculpt on the head, the actual mask, the lower part of the jaw almost sticks out, it's more pronounced, and the thickness of the lightsaber. And then of course the manufacturing on the leg, that's another giveaway. So if you just go on Google and just say Ledy Darth Vader, and you'll find out how to, there's sites that are devoted. Rebel Scum, they have a good thing about it as well. So if you go on Rebel Scum, they can tell you about the Darth Vader. So this is the second picture, and there's the back again. Okay, so now you've got the old and the new. You've got the original 1983 Darth Vader second picture on a Return of the Jedi card, made in Mexico. And now you've got here, and I've already talked about this one, this is the vintage collection Empire Strikes Back reproduction card with the modern Darth Vader on it. So the figures are really incomparable, because there's just so many, there's 30 years between these two, so you know, more than 30 years. So it just shows this is the history of figure Star Wars figures in a nutshell. You've got the 1978 version of Darth Vader. Obviously that one was made a bit later, but it's still essentially the same figure. And then you've got the 2010 version of Darth Vader, and you can see that the detailing is just, the two figures are incomparable. But then you've got to think the cards are comparable. That the cards are, that this card is a reproduction of that card, or very similar to that card. And it just goes to show you that people love the old cards. And people my generation love these old figures. I'd rather have this figure, even though it can't do anything compared to this figure. I'd rather have that one than this one any day. But still, you know, I love the old cards, and this is an old card reproduction. It looks wicked, and you've got the new figure on it. So this caters for everyone. That's why these things are selling out so much. Especially look at the Gamorrean guards. You can get that's probably more expensive than the vintage one these days. So here you are, the old and the new. Darth Vader and Darth Vader. Both picture variations. So this picture, as I said before, you got on the Empire Strikes Back some of the Return of the Jedi and Tri-Logo, plus the Power of the Force, and of course the original Star Wars cards. What Kenner or Hasbro should do now is put Vaders on picture cards like that, because this picture looks pretty awesome. So there you are. There you go. Anyway, time to go. I need to eat. Okay, this is the Power of the Force 2, 1996, I guess. Carded Imperial Gunner, but this is the Italian one. So this only Italian cards have their own nationality. Plus the US cards, I guess, and the Canadians were for Canada and South America. These are the only nation-specific Power of the Force 2 cards, so they're far a lot more scarce than any other of the Power of the Force 2 cards. So this is the Kenner logo with the GG, which is the Italian distributor, and then it says Gare Stelliari Star Wars, and then it's got the name of the Imperial Gunner, Morta Nera. Morta must mean death in Italian, and then it says it's got, you know, the weapons, assault rifle and all that sort of stuff. There's the figure. The figure's really good. One of the better early figures, not too overly muscled. Comes with this massive assault rifle plus the Imperial blaster, but it's a really good likeness and not a bad figure. So head with swivel arms, swivel at the shoulder, swivel at the waist, swivel at the upper legs. And then in the back of the card it says Gare Stelliari again. It has the name of the figure in Italian and all the information, height 1.83 meters, and all the other figures that are available in the range. I've already shown you this one and that one on Italian cards. That's the Emperor and the Walrus Man, or Ponda Baba as he got later called. And here's the back of the Italian card. So it's a lot less writing than on the US or Canadian card or a European UK card. And then you've got the GG, so 2 points there, or 1 point there, and then has the Kenner GG logo, and 1997, so this one was from 97, so quite a few years ago. So this is what I really like to collect, because I mean most of the Power of the Force 2 stuff is pretty worthless these days, but the Italian stuff I just think looks really cool, and the vintage Italian stuff is so expensive these days, so this is the next best thing, is collecting Power of the Force 2 Italian Ger Stelliari figures. So, and this one's quite hard to track down. So, you know, and it looks really good, especially the name. Whoever can speak Italian, Article delle Mortanera. So that just sounds so cool. So there you are, your Italian Kenner GG Power of the Force 2 Imperial Guard. Okay, here we've got two vintage card backs. They're from the 70s and 80s. You've got a Canadian Sandperson 12-back card back and a German TIE Fighter card back from about 1982. So we'll start with the Sandperson. So, oops, you've got the Sandperson here, and it's on a Canadian card. You can tell because it's got the two languages there, English and French, and then it's the bog standard picture of the Sandperson or Tusken Raider, and this is from, you can see it's had the proof of purchase cut out on the back, and if we look at the back we can see that it's very similar to a US card. So it's got the description of the figures at the top in English, and then here it's got it in French. So you've got the two languages, which was what was law in France, in Canada, sorry, that you had to have all products labelled in English and French. And so if this had the figure on it, it'd be really rare, and it still is rare to get a Canadian 12-back card, excepting that it's got no proof of purchase there, it's been cut out. And as you can see, it's got the classic image of the 12 figures there, the first 12, hence the name 12-back, and then the Land Speeder, the X-Wing and the TIE Fighter. These are just drawings, and then a description of pulling out the telescoping lightsaber, which was quickly replaced with the pull-down version. And you've got the descriptions in English and French. The French ones, oh, they both do. They both give the height of the figures in centimeters and inches. So that's your French 12-back Canadian card. So this is a sort of cheaper way of collecting vintage Star Wars stuff by just grabbing the card backs without the figures on them. Okay, this is a German TIE Fighter card, 45 back, Empire Strikes Back. Looks exactly like a Palitoy card on the front, and it even has the age instructions in English. So this is a German card, Imperial TIE Fighter pilot, and on the back it has 45 figures pictured, plus at the bottom, this is what makes it particularly nice, is what it says there. So it's got some German words, and then at the bottom the address, General Mills in Germany, and then 1982 Lucasfilm Limited. So I reckon these, as far as I know, these were carded in the UK and sent to Germany. That's why most carded, if you wanted to buy some German figures now, they're most likely to come from England. So that's what. So that's your German card and Canadian card. So these two vintage foreign cards. So I've got some carded German figures. I've got a few on this card, not the TIE Fighters. I've got the Han Solo, the Bosk, a Rebel Soldier and Rebel Commander. Hopefully some more soon. And then the Canadian Sandperson. I've got a few Canadian items. I've been collecting a lot of Canadian stuff of late. So this is a Canadian card, very nice. With unfortunately the pop's been removed, so that's the only drawback. And but this is a rare thing. To see this carded would be, I mean, to see it with a figure on the card would be mega rare, and it would cost a lot of money. So there you are. That's two vintage foreign cards. So There you are. You've got the Empire Strikes Back, TIE Fighter pilot, and the Canadian sand person. I love that picture though, it's classic. So there you are. Okay, here we've got two of the 2010 vintage collection Wave 1 figures, and I've been really bad at collecting these. I've only just got these now. So we've got the Cloud Car pilot on the Empire Strikes Back card, and Forlon also on this Empire Strikes Back card. These both have the classic image from the 1980s, so the same picture as what they had back in the day, and you can see that the Cloud Car pilot's been totally revamped and modernized, as has Forlon. Obviously, I'm a vintage collector, so I remember the old names. So there you are, two of the vintage collection figures. So now this means I've got these two plus Darth Vader. And have I got any more? Well, I've definitely got the Darth Vader, I've shown that. And, oh yeah, the Magna Guard and the Sand Trooper, I've got those. So this is not... And if you look at the back of the Forlon, it shows you the original card with the figure. I've got one on the Jedi card. And then you've got the rest in the range. You've got the Vader, you've got the Han Solo, which I've also got, I'll show you that next, plus the Luke in Bespin, which I wanted to get but I didn't get, plus Leia and the C-3PO. So I've got all of these, well, apart from the Han, on vintage cards, I mean from the 1980s, so you know, I've got that Luke Bespin on a Canadian card, that's quite a rare card. The Leia Hoth I've got on a Return of the Jedi card, and on a Tri-Logo card, and the C-3PO I've got on a couple of 12 backs. Not in the best condition, but you know. Okay, so these are the vintage figures, and that's Forlon, excellent figure, well articulated and nicely detailed. It really looks like the image there in the photograph, and he comes armed with this really long rifle or machine gun. Well, it's based on a German World War II machine gun. So there's Forlon, and it's on a replica Empire Strikes Back card. And then we've got the Cloud Car pilot, and he's on an Empire Strikes Back card, and he's grown a moustache. Looks pretty similar to the vintage figure, a bit more articulated, and the helmet looks removable. Comes with a small pistol, and with the vintage figure came with a pistol plus a little communicator device, which is easily lost. So there you are, Cloud Car pilot, and he's inside his Cloud Car in the picture, and there's the back. I've got this on the Empire Strikes Back Kenner card with the Revenge offer on the back, plus I've got on a Jedi card. That's the Jedi card one's on YouTube, an early video I did, so yeah, if you blink you'll miss it. So there's Cloud Car pilot. Okay, so I'll put those back. You've got Cloud Car and Forlon. Have a closer look at them. So you've got Forlon and twin-powered Cloud Car pilot, both with the Kenner logos at the bottom, just like they had in the back in the day for the US cards and Canadian cards. So okay, here we've got the Han Solo. So this is from the 2010 collection. This is the first wave. It's Han Solo in his Echo Base outfit, and this is the first time this figure's been released. So it's on a vintage style card with the silver foil, and it comes with a welding tool and a welding mask, and it's quite a nice figure. I've seen a lot of reviews of this figure, and most complaints seem to stem around the jacket, that it's not removable. So that seems to be people's biggest gripe with this figure. But Hasbro or Kenner are trying to do something different, so and we've never had this release. Now, I know now that you can get the Han and Bespin on a retro type card as well. So this is the first time it's been on this card, and it's got a nice picture of Harrison Ford there in Hoth, on Hoth, and you've got the picture on the back. So it says first issue vintage Han Solo card 2010, and then you've got at the bottom all the other figures in the rave. And as I just said earlier, when I was looking at the Cloud Car Pilot, I've got the Dengar coming as well. I don't know what's happened to that. That should have come with these 4 figures. You've got Luke in Bespin, Leia Hoth, and C-3PO. So this is a Wave 1 figure. The Wave 1 ones, most of them came with this foil effect stripe around the card, and it just makes him look so much better. So that's your Han Solo in Hoth Echo Base outfit. Nice card. Sorry about the lighting, the weather's really bad. It was sunny this morning and now it's gotten all dark and grey. But I want to get all this stuff reviewed. Okay, here we've got the Rebel Commando. Okay, so my camera just played up just now, so back to the Rebel Commando, and it's on the Return of the Jedi retro card, and it's exactly the same card, or very similar to the original card. And there's the figure, and this figure is leaps and bounds ahead of the original figure. So he comes with a removable hat with a bald head, beard, goatee beard, which isn't what that guy has in the picture. He has a camouflage jacket very similar to the Han trench coat from 2007 or 2006. It comes with a rifle very similar to the one that came with the original vintage figure, and a pistol and a little backpack which is packed underneath the boots. And the figure's nicely weathered, it looks really nicely detailed. So, and the card just looks pretty nice, glossy. So it's a Wave 3 figure, so there's the original on the back of the Return of the Jedi card. I've got one of those. I'd like to get one on Tri-Logo. And then you've got the other figures in that wave. You've got the Wicket, Yoda, Luke, Capture, Roof or Klaatu, and R2-D2 serving drinks. So these are the 2 figures, the Han and the Rebel Commando. I think I need to put the light on, it's gotten a bit dark. Okay, so we looked at some 2010 figures, and we've looked at some a couple of vintage cards without the figures, and now we're going to look at a couple of a Saga Legends and a Clone Wars 2-pack. So the Saga Legends figure is the Space Trooper, and this is a re-release. It's got a nice illustration there of the Space Trooper. This is the second version of the Space Trooper. There was one back in the expanded universe on Power of the Force, which I still haven't got that one. Once I've got that one, I've got all the expanded universe Power of the Force figures. As you can see, it's a really good figure. It's really bulked up, muscular. Well, not muscular, but looks very kind of robotic, and it's got sort of flaps for flying with in space and a jetpack. And he comes with a kind of, the pistol looks rather small in his hands. And he's got sort of robotic looking legs. So that's the Space Trooper. Excellent figure, Saga Legends. And there's a close-up of the actual what do you call these, Galactic Battle game card. And on the back it has a picture of the figure and a sort of comic book illustration of the Space Trooper. That's from like the old Dark Empire series. And then you've got Saga Legends, other figures in the range, Stormtrooper, Battle Droid, Mace and Obi-Wan. And I see at the bottom those warnings, that's a new feature there. Before it had tons of tiny little print. So that's your Space Trooper. Let's put that back. And next one we're going to look at is the 2-pack, which I got from Sainsbury's in the UK. It's ARF Trooper Raxa and the Battle Droid. And it's exclusive to Sainsbury's in the UK, so I'm sure you can get this in America, but if you want to get that in England, you can get this 2-pack. It's on sale at the moment for £10. The figures, the Saga Legends figures, are on sale for about £5.30. So there you are. And it comes, I got it mainly for this one because he looks wicked, sort of camouflaged ARF Trooper in sort of brownish tan camouflage with the helmet, looking a bit like a sort of prototype biker scout. Looks pretty cool. It comes with this massive Gatling gun, and the pistol, and the battle droid is in red with yellow highlights and comes with a battle droid blaster. Great artwork on the card. So you've got the battle droid and ARC Trooper Raxa, and then on the back, let's see what it says on the back. You've got the two characters, same picture, and the other two you can get. You can get a Special Ops Clone Trooper and Geonosian Drone. So hopefully they'll get even more reduced, and I'll pick those two up as well. So there you are, the two figures I picked up yesterday. Okay, here we've got in 1985 or 84, I think it's 85, Ewok on a Canadian card. It's not an Ewok, it's actually a Duloc Scout, but it doesn't say the name of the character on the card at all. It's a French and English Canadian card, so it's got the language in French, so from the TV series, and it's the same thing in French at the bottom, and then it's got Star Wars and La Guerre des Étoiles and the ages in French. And there's the Duloc Scout. So he comes with a sort of club, and he's got quite a large head, red eyes. So the only Duloc I don't have now is the King Gornish. The rest I've got, and I've got the two Ewoks as well. There weren't many figures in this range. This one's kind of nice because it's got the wrong coin with it. It's got the Lady Urga, or whatever her name is, coin. So that makes it a bit nicer. And all the Canadian cards didn't have pictures of the character on them, they just had the same generic cards. So here you've got a picture of Wicket and Nisa. Sad that I know these characters' names, but you know. So, and there's little Wicket as well up there as well. And the back of the card is the 6 figures that were available in the range. You've got Wicket, I've got that one, I've graded, I've got that one, which I've done a recent review of. That's the one I haven't got, the King. Then there's the Lady Agra, then there's the Scout, and the Shaman, Duloc Shaman. So if you've ever seen the Ewoks cartoons, then you know what I'm talking about. And then there's all the stuff that you could get with them, the Ewok Battle Wagon, the Ewok Village or Treetop House, and then 2 accessories, the glider and the catapult. And so this is your Canadian carded Ewok figure. So I think all the other ones I've got are on US cards. So this is my first Canadian Ewok figure. And they're just as common as US cards. Should be no price difference between the two. So there you are. Okay, here we've got a Droids Kia Mole character on a Canadian card. So this is my first vintage Droids card on a Canadian card figure. I've got 2 others. I've got on the back it tells you I've got Jord Dusat and Jan Tosh, and I did a review of them a while back. So if you just want to see them. Well, I didn't really do a review of them. I just took loads of pictures of them and stuck it to music. So here, this is a Kia Mole. She's slightly rarer than those 2 characters, and it says on her coin that she's a freedom fighter, and it's on a Canadian card. So you've got Vlix in the background. He's like probably one of the most valuable Star Wars figures going, and he was only released in Brazil. So there you go. It's just like the Ewok figure I just showed you there. It's got the French and English languages, and then you've got the figure there, which is she looks quite chubby in this sculpt. Her neck looks quite flabby, as do her arms, and she comes armed with a Bespin blaster in grey, so that's this like squid head gun. So there you are. Bubbles on these cards tend to yellow. And then let's have a quick look at the back. So you've got in this series you could get 12 figures, including Boba Fett, which cost a fortune, and the A-Wing pilot. And some of these figures are quite tricky to track down. And then you've got in English and in French there. Okay, and the year at the bottom it says 1985. So that's your Droids figure. Okay, one more look at the Canadian Droids and Ewok figure, Kia Mole and the Dulok Scout. These figures didn't really sell very well, so after the Return of the Jedi line and the Power of the Force line, Kenner tried to keep Star Wars going, but by 1985 everyone was getting into computer games, and well, I certainly did, and so I lost interest. So these are the sort of the dying embers of the sort of vintage Star Wars line. Not everyone collects these. Some people don't consider these worth collecting. I've only recently started collecting these ones, so you know, and they're still not too expensive. Some are, I mean, like Vlixes cost a fortune, but some of these ones aren't too. They're not going to break the bank, as they say. So that's, and they're both Canadian. So these are both my first Canadian droids and my first Canadian Ewok. So there you are. Time to say. Okay, here we've got a couple of those proof cards or sample cards from the SDCC, San Diego Comic Convention. So this is Darth Vader from the 2010 collection, and it's a nice card. It's on the Empire Strikes Back logo with the original Darth Vader picture with the Kenner logo there, and it has a picture of the original figure there from 1980, and then the other figures on the range, and this is just a proof card, super sample card. So the only difference I've been told is that this is blacked out. So there you are, and then that's the Darth Vader sample card, and you can pick these up quite cheap on eBay. So that's your Darth Vader sample card. Okay, so we've looked at the Darth Vader card, and this is a later one. This is from this year. This is on a Revenge of the Jedi card. It's Princess Leia slave outfit, and this was also given out at the San Diego Comic Convention, and it's got a picture of Carrie Fisher dressed in her very famous slave girl outfit, and she looks like she's stabbing someone with her laser spear, and she's on top of the Jabba Sail barge. So you'll be able to get this figure carded soon, or I think you can already get it. And it has Revenge of the Jedi, so there you are. So everyone knows about Revenge of the Jedi, that back in the 1983 George Lucas was going to put the film out as with that title, but then he changed his mind, and you can get a few from the 1980s. You can get vintage cards, very rare, with the Revenge of the Jedi logo, and then there's this one's got the what do you call this, proof of purchase on it though. So that's the only difference with that and the Darth Vader one. And there's a picture of the original slave girl princess and Power of the Force card, which is easy to find. Okay, so let's see. There's Leia in Revenge of the Jedi on a Revenge of the Jedi card, and so that's going to be a big seller, mainly because of the picture of on the card. I don't know how good the figure sculpt is. So you've got the Leia there, plus the Darth Vader on the Empire Strikes Back card. Okay, here we looked at a Revenge of the Jedi card from 2011. This is the real thing. This is from 1983. This is a Luke Hoth card, Luke Skywalker, and it's a Revenge of the Jedi card. It's AFA graded. So this stemmed from originally George Lucas. Everyone knows this anyhow, but George Lucas was going to call Return of the Jedi Revenge of the Jedi, but then he had second thoughts. But by then Kenner had already developed the Revenge of the Jedi logo for these cards, and so now these are highly prized by collectors. I've just been looking on eBay and to see what sort of prices they go for. So you can get them. They range from about cheapest you're going to get them is about £200, and the highest you'll pay is for a really high grade example is £5,000. So these are like, if you're a mega collector, this is the only one I've got, and it'll probably be the only one I'll ever get. So it's Revenge of the Jedi Luke Skywalker Hoth card, Kenner, and it's graded by AFA just 85. Revenge of the Jedi Luke Skywalker Hoth Proof Card, 1983, Kenner Star Wars. And it has a free offer there for Neon Nun, which you got on the Return of the Jedi cards as well, which were carded with the figures. And so this is the Revenge of the Jedi from 1983, and that's why you're getting the new cards now with Revenge of the Jedi logos, like that Princess Leia and slave outfit on the Revenge of the Jedi, just because that captures all that sort of mystique of Star Wars collecting. This is like one of the holy grails of Star Wars collecting. So if you're like a big time Star Wars collector, you have to get, well, you need a Revenge of the Jedi card, a yak face carded, whatever. And you need, those are sort of holy grails. I mean, the vinyl Kate Jawa, that's like a holy grail as well, something that you'll never really get. I haven't got a vinyl Kate Jawa. Okay, so this says free Neon Nun, blah blah blah, figure from Star Wars Revenge of the Jedi. So there you are, there's Neon Nun. I've shown a 48 back Princess Leia on the Return of the Jedi card, and that's very similar to this, except instead of saying Revenge it says Return. So that's the back of the card. So this is your Revenge of the Jedi proof card. You can tell proof cards that at the top the cards are rounded, but at the bottom they're squared. So that's how you know it's a vintage proof card. And you've got a nice picture of Luke on Hoth. This card picture was used on all cards, Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back and Tri-Logo. And it just says Luke Skywalker Hoth Battle Gear. It's unpunched, this card, so it's Revenge of the Jedi. I don't know if this will be the first on YouTube. It could be the first Revenge of the Jedi card on YouTube. That is really a vintage Return of the Jedi card. I'm sure someone's got something about the new Revenge of the Jedi cards. So there you are, Luke Skywalker Hoth on a Revenge of the Jedi card. Very expensive. We're talking about, there's quite a lot at the moment. There's about 10 of them on eBay. One in Australia, which is the same Luke Hoth, grade 80, and that's for £275 plus £50 to ship it from Australia, and that costs more than this one. So, you know, the only defect with this is that the AFA case is slightly cracked just there. Nothing major. I can live with that. So you need big money to get a Revenge of the Jedi card these days, especially if it's graded. So as I said before, you're talking about minimum £200 maybe, if you're lucky. So Revenge of the Jedi, Luke Hoth. There's about 50 of these cards, 50 character cards, and the rarest one is supposedly the Rebel Commander. That's meant to be really hard to find. There's one of those on eBay for about £700, so that goes to show you how valuable that one is. But then the most expensive ones are the ones like Darth Vader, the Luke Skywalker, Han Solo on the original picture cards from the like 12-pack back pictures. Those ones go for big money. So there you are, Revenge of the Jedi. Hi, today we're going to look at some Star Wars stuff and some other, well, mostly Star Wars stuff, some modern stuff and some stuff from the 1980s and 70s. So I hope you enjoy it, and let's see what stuff we've got to look at today. Okay, here we've got a prototype Luke Skywalker from the Saga Blue Card Collection, the Throne Room Duel, with the actual figure as well. So this one's the prototype and this is the actual figure. So as you can see, the main differences are that the This body is all black, and this one is all painted up, and the hair is painted brown, the teeth are painted white, whereas this one, the head is just flesh coloured. The hand, both hands are the what is that, the left-handed painted, I think it's left hand, yep. And so you've got this figure here is the prototype, and you can see the head's unpainted, and the arms are not in the correct positions now. There's a switch in the back, you push it in, the button, and the arms move up and down like that. So this is Luke Skywalker Throne Room Duel from the Saga collection, about 2003, 2004. And there you are. This is the prototype figure. Okay, articulation is, because this is a figure with features in it, because the arms move up and down when you press that button at the back. The arms are quite well articulated. The head swivels, no movement in the waist, and the legs just at the hips they move. No knee articulation. So there you are, Luke Skywalker Throne Room. And then let's look at this Luke here. This is how the finished product. There's a variation with this figure with the hand painted, the other hand painted, and the lightsaber's magnetic. So he's got a magnet in this hand here that holds the lightsaber, and you press the button and it can move in the forward, just like in Return of the Jedi when Luke's lost his temper and is hacking his father's arm off, Darth Vader's arm off. So there you are, you can see, and here the arms are in the correct position. On the prototype this arm's quite loose. So here are two figures, the painted and unpainted version. Luke Skywalker Throne Room. Got quite a prominent button at the back. Press that and the arms move forward. There you are, Luke Skywalker Throne Room Duel. Okay, the figure comes with this base as well, which has this fence that moves, can be cut apart, and you can place the figure on there. So there you are. Let's see if it doesn't have the year on it. So there you go, Luke Skywalker Throne Room Duel. Okay, this prototype figure can't really hold the lightsaber with both hands, so it can hold it with one hand, but it can't hold it with both like the actual production figure. So there you are, Luke Jedi. Okay, here's the actual production Luke. You can see this is quite flimsy, it keeps falling apart, the actual fence that Luke cuts down. And you can see him move his lightsaber forward and back in the slashing motion, just like in the film Return of the Jedi. So it's a great display figure. The lightsaber hilt's made out of metal as well, so that's really cool. You can see him whacking away. Bit of a whack job here. Luke Skywalker, Jedi Knight. Throne Room Duel from 2002, 2003. Saga blue card, and here's the prototype figure. So you can see that his hair's not painted, and the body's just black. Also got the same motion. So there you are, two figures whacking away. There you go. Okay, this is the backing card from the Luke Throne Room card. So you can see the 5 figures that were available at the same time. Darth Vader Throne Room Duel, so that's a matching figure. Princess Leia Organa Captive. C-3PO, Snow Trooper and Jango Fett in Kamino Escape. Plus you've got at the top, you've got the actual description of the Luke action figure, plus the description. It says, captured and taken to the second Death Star, Luke is manipulated by the Emperor into lightsaber duel with his own father, Darth Vader. The two battle fiercely with their lightsabers, but then Luke chooses to yield the fight rather than destroy his father. Enraged, the Emperor turns to eliminate the young Jedi, and with him the galaxy's last hope. And it tells you how the figure works. It says, press belt back for slashing lightsaber action. The railing collapses, I call it a fence, the railing collapses when lightsaber hits it. Place left hand on weapon. Weapon is force attracted to hand. So we'll try that as well. And I think on that, the hands are, yep, it's painted the other way around. So on this version, the hand, that hand is painted. On this version, it's, so on both these versions, the other hand is painted. So let's try the force action. There's the lightsaber. So it's removable, it's a metal hilt. You can push that back in. And then let's see if it can be force attracted to his hand. Let's see. Yep, there you saw it. The magnet in Luke's hand attracts the lightsaber. Okay, here we've got a Luke Skywalker Bespin outfit from the original trilogy collection from 2004, and it's graded by AFA, and it's quite a decent figure. It's got bendable knees, swivel waist, hips, slit cut elbows, swivel wrists, and a twistable head. So for its time, it's standard articulation of your typical OTC figure. So these are known as OTC collection 2004, and they've got quite a retro looking card, a really nice card actually. So it's got the double lines just like in the vintage cards from back in the day, the 70s, and it has the way the name is done at the top is very similar to the vintage figures as well. It has a little picture there of Luke Skywalker in his Bespin outfit from Empire Strikes Back, and then here it has the original trilogy logo, and then it doesn't have a picture on the back of the card. It has an actual scene from the film The Empire Strikes Back, which is generally considered the best of the lot, though I say Episode 4 is my favourite. So you've got Luke Skywalker there in a sort of scene with a really large bubble. These cards came with quite large bubbles, and if I turn it around you can see the back of the card. And you can see a picture of Luke and Darth Vader having it out fighting. It's from The Empire Strikes Back, and some other figures. I haven't got any of these other figures, so this, you know, there's just too much coming out in those days, so you just couldn't keep up. So it says, the rebel hero Luke Skywalker interrupts his Jedi training with Yoda to fly to the Cloud City of Bespin to rescue his friends who have been captured by the evil Imperial leader Darth Vader. As he fights to free his friends, Luke battles Darth Vader in a lightsaber duel and discovers that this terrible villain is in fact his own, well, I'm not going to say because everyone knows. You've got advert in the corner to join Hasbro, or go to hasbro.com. So there you are. And these are different figures you can get TIE Fighter Pilot, IG-88, Snowtrooper, Tusken Raider, Greedo, and the Jawas, a Jawa 2-pack. So it's a really nice card. It says OTC number 26, Luke Skywalker, OTC collection. And there you are. Got Luke Skywalker there. And it's AFA graded. It's 2004 Hasbro Star Wars Original Trilogy, Luke Skywalker Best Bin. It's a U85. U means it's uncirculated, so that means it's just been sent to AFA in a box and then not handled by anyone. So the U grade just means it's not been handled by anyone. And it's card gets 90, bubble 85, figure 95. So it's a high grade figure 95, and it looks really nice. You can get modern figures in AFA boxes pretty cheap these days. If you go on eBay, you can. Not all of them. Some people know that charge about 20, 30 quid for them. But if you can find the odd one for about a tenner, and then you have to pay maybe £5 shipping on top. So it's a good price to get something like this for a tenner. There you are, Luke Skywalker plus the shipping would bring it to about 15, 16 quid. So it's Luke Skywalker, OTC, Best Bin outfit, 2004. It's about how many years? 6 years now? 7 years now. Okay, here we've got a figure. It's not Star Wars, it's Battlestar Galactica. So this is from 1978-79. There weren't many figures released, but the TV show was quite popular at the time. So this is the original Battlestar Galactica, not the new series. And this is the Imperious Leader. So it's more or less in the same sort of size as a Star Wars figure. The card has the picture of the Imperious Leader here, and then you've got the figure here. He's got quite a pink face with a sort of purplish hair and this big pink robe. I had this figure when I was a kid as well, so I do remember playing with these. So these are distributed by Mattel. And you know, if you grew up in the 70s, you would probably most likely like the original Battlestar Galactica as well. These figures don't have holes in their feet like the Star Wars figures. And here's on the back, this is the first series of figures you could get. You can get the Ovian, which I had, Cylon, which I had, Imperious Leader I had, I think I had 2 Cylons, the Daggett, I'm pretty sure I had that, Commander Adama, and Lieutenant Starbuck. So I had all of these figures when I was a kid. Okay, so this is a Mattel Battlestar Galactica Series 1 card, and it says authentic reproductions and costumes and details, each sold separately. Figures not for use with Battlestar Galactica vehicles. The vehicles they did make were a lot smaller. Mattel Incorporated 1978, made and printed in Hong Kong. And there's the figure. It comes with this huge cloth cape, and as far as I can remember, the arms will just move, the head won't move at all, and the legs move. So pretty limited articulation. Condition of the card's fair, so not bad for something that's, how old is this now? Pretty old, 33 years old. Okay, bubble's pretty clear, dented at the top there. Got a crease here on the card, big crease there, and a bit of a crease around the punch. So there you are, Battlestar Galactica, Imperious Leader, cost $1.97. I don't know if that was sold in England or the USA. And there you go. Mattel Imperious Leader from Battlestar Galactica. Okay, here we've got Salacious Crumb from the Jabba the Hutt playset from 1983. So here it is, made in Hong Kong, 1983. So there you are, Salacious Crumb. It comes with a little tail. I'm sure this is pretty similar to the new Salacious Crumb that's been released. So there you are, Salacious Crumb. Okay, here we've got a vintage 1983 Tri-Logo Klaatu skiff guard outfit. But as you can easily see, that Klaatu figure is the earlier version of Klaatu. So that version of Klaatu's been re-released recently on the vintage line collection. So this is a very common, it's what you call a miscard. So it's a Tri-Logo miscard, and there's quite a few of these. I've got a few others. I've got the Biker Scout on R5D4, the Squid Head on Ree card, Yoda on a Warwick card, and what else? I've got Han Solo on a French Return of the Jedi Luke Skywalker card, and Death Squad Commander on the ATST card. Most of those are Tri-Logos, excepting the Luke Jedi. So these are fairly sought after, and you do come across them. They tend to have thin bubbles, and the bubbles can be really dented and crashed and cracked. So you've got to be really careful with the bubbles. This figure gets an 80 overall. It's an 80 near mint. The card gets 80, bubble 80, figure 85, and the only thing is on the left foot is quite a lot of frosting on the black boot. The other boot's fine, but that boot, the left boot, has lots of frosting on it. Frosting's what appears on certain figures. It tends to be black paint actually. So it must be something to do in it's a chemical reaction, and no one's sure what it really is. It could be a mold or something like that, or just a chemical reaction. Don't know if you can really see it, but on that foot there, which is black, or meant to be black, it looks kind of grey, and that's all frosting there. So I don't know if that's a recent thing, but this looks quite like a recent grading, so it must have been there. The figure comes with a really nice cloth cape, and it's quite well detailed for its time. Head, arms and legs swiveled, that's it. So this is the most common of the miscarded figures. So if you ever come across one of these, it's most likely to be this one, which is the Klaatu skiff with the Klaatu original on it. So there you are. That's the Klaatu, and it's the Tri-Logo card. As you all know, 3 logos: English, French and Spanish. And we'll look at the back of the card. Typical Tri-Logo shows 79 figures. The last 2 blacked out, which are the Ewoks. And there you are, Klaatu miscard. So that's meant to be that should be Klaatu skiff. It looks like according to Stefan Fancourt, who wrote that book Tri-Logo to Meccano to Tri-Logo, he says that these miscards were made in France, and they just used whatever figures they had left over and tried to match them up with the closest cards they had left, just to get them out and sell them off. So there you are. So there you are. A Tri-Logo miscard. Not that rare, but still not that common either. So there you are. Klaatu. Quite nice. Apart from the frosting on the left foot. But still, the card's very nice. The figure. They say you can get rid of frosting by shining ultraviolet light onto the figure. But I've never tried that, so there you go. Klaatu skiff miscard. Nice figure.
You see the problem with the cuts they have these days is that it's going to affect the most vulnerable.
Yeah.
Unless we can have solution of relieving their suffering, then just carry on with the same. It's more degradation, more suffering.
More animation. Talk. Don't look in the camera.
Yeah.
You know?
Say something, Martin.
Yeah, all these cuts, it's the biggest snippets. Come from a touring as well. I bet full comfortable toilet maker with a melody sorry. Underhand cuts.
Precisely.
Okay, here we got Reese on a Power of the Force 2 card, and he is from about 97. Let's see, yeah, 97. So he's, I think at the time he was a fan. You had to get him off the fan club, so he's a bit hard to track down. I never got him at the time. So, and this one's AFA graded. It's graded AFA 85. The card gets 85, bubble 85, figure 90, and it comes with an action slide freeze frame, and you can see that picture on the back of the card. It's a really good figure. It's quite a large figure. Nice, excellent sculpt. If you look closely, you can see they've really done a great job on the head, and it's not too bulky. Really nice effect on the costume, the fabric, and he looks like a solid character, like a solid, because he was always portrayed as being a bit drunk in the not that I can say anything, because I had a bit of a hangover this morning myself, so you know, not sure how I got home or anything like that. Oh dear. So, you know, and so he was a bit, there he is having a nice drink. That was, well, you know, there's free drinks at work last night. That was a big mistake for me, because, you know, I felt pretty sick this morning, but that's my own stupidness. So here you got Yak Face. I wasn't sick though, but, you know, there's Yak Face, C-3PO, and the drunk Reese. And it says here, even with a court full of conspirators, Jabba the Hutt never suspected Reese as a potential assassin. Reese cut a deal with the Empire to destroy Jabba, but fate would save that role for Princess Leia. It's got other figures there, Gamorrean Guard, the Tarkin, Luke's Ceremonial, 2 creature sets, and other stuff like that. And how to get the actual freeze frame binocular thing. And then you've got the figure again. There he is, Reese, excellent figure. Okay, sorry about the lighting, is a bit dark today. There he is, Reese, great figure. Has a fight with Yak Face, according to legend. So there you are. The very drunk Yak Face. And I'm hungover, so I know how he feels. Okay, so there you are, Yak Face, Reese. Okay. So there you are, great figure. So it just goes to show you that even Power of the Force, some of the Power of the Force figures are amazing. This is a great figure. So, I mean, the head sculpt is just amazing. Like, you can't really see it, can't really pick up the details, but look at that. So, an amazing piece of work, that head. And the costume as well. So that's a great figure. Okay, so the reason why my channel is called MKM Films is that me and my friends, we used to make videos together, and that's what we used to call ourselves, MKM, so the K is my name, and then the M and the M, the other M's are the 2 other characters. But I've used that name on YouTube, and I can't change it. So, but I mean, it's quite it's an okay name, and you know, I tend to do a lot of Star Wars stuff. I do modern stuff, plus there's a lot of stuff from the 80s, which is my favourite stuff. So, you know, hopefully there's something on my channel that will, you know, interest you. I've probably got some of the longest videos there. I tend to edit on YouTube as well, so I just put loads of videos together that I've already made and just stack them all together. So I've got some really long videos on YouTube. Also, I reckon maybe perhaps one of the weirdest places to do a Star Wars review from would be in a graveyard, which I've done that twice. The first time in 2010, and then earlier this summer. And then other things I do, I make other proper short films as well. So it's not just Star Wars. I mean, that's more my hobby. And then, you know, I mean, when I get time, and I can find someone to act in like terrible film, like Stalin and Ho and all that sort of stuff. So, you know, anyway, cheers. Okay, here we've got the Red Guard from, or Senate Security from 2005, Revenge of the Sith card. And it's, okay, the light's pretty bad, I'm going to have to, let's see if I can get better. Okay, so you've got two versions of this figure. It came on the same card, you've got the blue one and the red one. Out of the two, probably the red one's slightly harder to track down. Comes with a blaster rifle and a pistol, like a biker scout pistol it looks like, and this just looks like the exact, like the Emperor's Royal Guard. Okay, let's see if I can, I'm gonna have to put the light on, I think. Okay, I'll put the light on, slightly better I guess. Okay, so now here you've got the Red Royal Guard, Senate Security from the Revenge of the Sith line, 2005. This one's AFA graded, but it's not high grade, it's only at 80 overall. And the card gets 80 bubble, 85, figure 95. So the figure's a high grade though. You can get, like I said earlier, you can get a lot of these AFA figures, modern figures, pretty cheap if you go on eBay. So this one was £5 plus another £4.50 for postage and packaging, so you can't go wrong with that. So there you are. So you're probably paying, you could get the figure not AFA graded for about £6-7. This is what, £2 more, and it's in a case. So much. There you've got the two guards. You can get the red guard and the blue guard. Star Wars Senate Security red card. Okay. And then if you look on the back, you can see a typical Revenge of the Sith card. You've got the two images of the guard, blue or red, and then you've got a picture of the blue guard, and then different figures you could get in the series, and then go to Hasbro.com. So there you are. Okay, so Royal Guard, and it says the Royal Guard is Coruscant's most elite security force. During his rise to power, Palpatine seized control of all Senate security, consolidating the Blue Senate Guard and his own Crimson Personal Guard under his direct authority. So there you are, you've got the Blue Guard and the Red Guard. And then this one here is the Red Guard. Let's see if we can look at it better. Okay, there's the grade 80 near mint, and there's the figure. Okay, getting lots of reflection from the window. There's your Red Guard, great figure. Easy to track down. Looks cool. Emperor's Royal Guard. So there you are. There you are. If I say there you are again. There's your Red Guard anyhow. So AFA group. Okay, Revenge of the Sith cards aren't my favourite. I don't really like them that much. I don't like the backing cards. I prefer other. I think these are my least favourite cards really. Backing cards out of all the Star Wars ones so far. I mean, it looks okay, but I just think they could have done a better job of that. I prefer the Saga Blue Episode 1 cards, Power of the Force 2. So, out of all the modern cards, these cards are probably the ones that are my least favourite. I guess obviously the new 2010-11 vintage retro cards, the OTC cards, they're the best ever, apart from the original vintage cards, but they cost an arm and a leg. So I mean, you can get modern cards pretty cheap on eBay now, so this one might be worth tracking down because it's just harder to find than the Blue Guard. Average price in the UK for this figure carded will be about £7, and then probably cheaper in the USA. So there you are, the Red Guard. Got an 80 because if you look at just there's a little crease just around the sort of hanger, thing. Cool figure though. Okay, what can you say about onions? Remember that last year, the Onion King? He was given the wisdom of an onion by his son. Can you elaborate upon that yourself? Anything to say about onions?
Yeah. Because if you've never tried an onion bud, you've never lived.
Okay, here we've got a bit of an eBay horror story. So I ordered this last Friday and it came on Monday, but it doesn't resemble the picture that the seller had. It is the correct size, the proper item, but what's happened is it's been crushed in the post. It was placed in an envelope like this, and so thus it has been it was posted through my letterbox. I mean, it was meant to be signed for, and it's been really badly crushed. As you can see, it's been all bent around here, around here. That was pushed out, creased here, creased here, creased there. The bubble's probably been slightly creased a bit more. I mean, it was a bit dented at the top anyhow, but it's been made worse. And so I'm in a dispute now with the seller, saying, and PayPal, over this item, because it's not what the condition, you know, with vintage stuff, like this is from the 1980s, this is an 83 Canadian card, and you know, this is not acceptable, because I paid over 30 quid for this, and you know, the card should be in a much better condition. The postman posted it through my letterboxes, which was too small for this to be posted through, and it got crunched. Look how crushed it is around here, there, and there. It's ridiculous. And so now I've had to contact the seller plus eBay and say, look, this isn't good enough. So, you know, he's saying he's never had this problem before, that the postman had it signed for. I never signed for anything. I was at work. I was up 5:20 in the morning that day, Monday morning, and I didn't get home till about 6 o'clock, 6:30. So, you know, when did I sign for it? That's a good question, you know. I never signed for it. And look how mashed up it is. It's all creased at the top there. Creased there, creased there, creased there. This ain't good enough, man. If you're posting Star Wars figures, you've got to post them in a box like this, you know? This is a box. You post them in a box so they don't get mashed up. You know what I'm saying, man? So, hopefully eBay will rule in my favour and I'll get a full refund. I better do anyhow, otherwise I'm going to tell them to go bleep themselves, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so this is, if you're sending stuff in the mail, Star Wars vintage items, don't send them in packages, send them in boxes and protect them, put bubble wrap and newspaper and stuff like that inside so it protects the thing. And then the postman can't post it through the letterbox because it's so small, so he's got to take it back to the post thing and then I can go collect it. That's what usually happens. Posting it in a flipping packet is a joke. Obviously it's going to get bent up, it's going to get crushed in transit as well. So what's the geezer thinking, man? Anyway, so just a word of caution. If I show you the back as well, I mean, it's a really nice card. It's Canadian, all that sort of stuff. Oops. So there you are, Canadian. So you can see how crunched and mashed up this card is at the back as well. So there you are. Lots of dents. This thing's ruined. Just because you couldn't be bothered to put it in a cardboard box. And now I've got to go through all the hassle of going to eBay and, you know, having a dispute. What a hassle, man. You know. So that's a big, you know, big no-no in my book. You should, I mean, what's the tragic thing is a beautiful Canadian card, Wicket, has been ruined. You can't trust the postal services to look after stuff. You've got to put it in a box and write fragile on it. You know what I mean, look how tiny that figure is. It's Wicket. So this figure's just been re-released as well in a vintage 2010 figure. So they are Wicket, Warwick Wicket, or Wicket W Warwick. Shame this card's been mashed up. So, I mean, the only way you can make money on this now is to send it to AFA and get it U-graded. But then that's more money to spend, and you're losing the cards, the Canadian cards. Anyway, there's my rant for the day. Just be if you're posting stuff, send it in a box, not in a packet. I mean, look at this packet. This is what it was in, and it can get easily crushed. Look at that, ridiculous. It offers no protection at all. So there you are. Rant. Hi, I'm going to be, hello, testing this time.
Disabled and a sucking a fat in it, kind of thing. Hey, maybe the winners in the game, yeah. Siberian campers. You stand out on the fence again. You don't want to capture these cars.
Huh?
Martin. You stand by here, eh? Before the film ends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's got to do that little bit at the end. You know, with the slow tunes, like the bells. In the most beautiful music of Russia.
Yeah, when the ball falls on the bell toll.
And then you got that Sicelo one, and at the end, you got to put at the end the one in English, the red flag. It's sung in English. So we end in English, and we start in English. You know the international?
Oh.
See, that's the French tune. It was taken up by the Bolsheviks and the other social revolutionaries. The Paris Commune. 1880s.
Was it?
International. So it's even before the Bolsheviks ever started in country.
They've got Rudy and Ferdinand and friends into that iconic paint splattered stone roses image. It's